let's understand this break concept through one more example, that is like linear search. What is linear search, first of all? So there are searching techniques. When you have, let's say, array, there are different way to search, um, through the array. So one of the ways, linear search or sequential search, both is same thing. What linear search says is like go through all the values and find out if a value is present or not. So for example, let's say if I'm searching a value, let's say the value is, that value is, let's assume I want to search 455 is present or not. So if it is present, it should tell me that it is present. If it is not present, it should tell me it is not present in the array. Correct? So if I want to check, I have to basically go through all the values one by one. So when you want to go through all the values one by one, the best way is to use for loop again. So for q is equals to 0, q is less than emp id dot length, which is basically 8 here, and q plus plus. So what I will do here, I'll say if. So first of all, you should check whether this is working fine or not. So let's print all the values. emp id of q. So this will print me all the employee IDs. Correct. That means I'm able to go through all the values. If I'm able to print it, yes, I'm able to print all the employee IDs. Fine. So if I'm able to print, I can do if else also, right? So I can write here if this emp ID of q, right, is equals to v, the value which I am searching, right? So if that is found, I'll print yes, it is found. I'll say here employee ID found. Employee. I'll simply say employee found. Employee found. That's it. So if I will run this, it's saying employee found. Why it is saying employee found? Because at some point it reached to EMP ID of, let's say, EMP ID of 5, which is 455, and it is matching with this V value, and it's saying employee found. But is this the best way to write this program? No. What There is a problem in this program is, when, let's assume, when there is a particular employee ID which is not present in this array, then what will happen? So for example, if I'll say 400, 500, let's say 500. 500 is not present here, correct? So this time if I'll run, there will be no output, blank. Why? Because it is it is comparing every value, like emp id of 0 with 500, emp id of 1 with the 500, emp id of 2 with the 500, but nowhere it will found 500 as a value present here, and it will not reach to this point because there is no equal values, right? So should we write here else here, like not found? So that is the mistake most of the people do. When in interview somebody asks that, hey, write the program for um, linear search, people make this mistake that they say it's it's in the for loop, you write it, right? It's a bad way of doing it because it will print this emp not found otherwise 8 times, right? So it's better not to put um, you know system.out.println in the for loop. It's not good to, it's not a good practice to put system.out.println inside the for loop when you're making conceptual programs. when you're making this kind of searching, sorting related programs. First thing. Second thing is you're doing conceptually wrong. What you're saying is, okay, I want to find 500. The first value we are checking EMP ID of 0 is matching with 201. No. So it will go here. No. So it will print these things, uh, you know, uh, system dot println emp not found. Then it will reach here. It will go here. Q will become 1. So now EMP ID of Q, EMP ID of 1, which is 202, will be compared with 500. Again, there is a no match. So it will come here and again it will say not found. Correct. And one more thing about the problem with this program. Let's assume positive case that 455 we are searching. But once it is found, it is continuously again checking, whether 665 is matching with the value, 990 is matching with the value. It should stop. Whenever there is a match, it should stop. That's why it's better you say break here. Okay. Why? Why I'm saying this? I'll show you with a practical example. Let's say 207. I'm searching a value 207. Correct? Let's see one thing when the break is not written and when the break is written. I'm commenting out as of now this else part because I want to show you one thing that why we use break. So let's assume break I have commented. Break is not there. Now I'll put a debug point and I'll show you what is happening. So if you see here, it is comparing EMP ID of 0, which is 201 with 207. So it is not found. So that's why it has not gone to the 15th line. Now the Q will become 1, which is EMP ID of 1 is 202. So 202 is compared with 207, the value of V. So it is not equal. Now EMP ID of Q is 2. Sorry, EMP ID Q value is 2. EMP ID of 2 is 207. The value which we are searching is also 207. So if you see here, now it is coming down to the 15th line because both things are matching. So it's the true statement. So it will say employee ID, employee found. Fine, great. But then once it is found, it is continue on, comparing this also. So if something is found, we are unnecessarily comparing it. Computer takes time on comparison. Whether it is true or false means whether this value is matching or not matching. You are doing some kind of comparison unnecessarily. The employee is already found at the second 0122 index, right? It is already found. Why you are searching again and again? Why you are comparing the other values? Though the program is perfectly fine. This program, even if you will not write the break, it's perfectly fine. It's working in a positive case when the value is present. But the problem is you are unnecessarily doing the comparison with other values. So that's why the solution to this is you should put break. Once it is found, you should do break. Okay, this thing. Now you will understand. Now this time when I run this, you will observe what will happen. So initially the value of Q is 0. Hold on. This execution is not started yet. Let me start again. Debug as the application. Yeah. So initial value of Q is 0. So EMP ID of 0 is 201. Now 202. Now it has found. See, this is EMP ID of 2, which is 207, is matching with the value of V, which is 207. It will come here and we are saying break. Break means don't do anything further. Just come out of the for loop. So now if you'll observe, it will not go back to the for loop. See here, it's coming out of the for loop. So that is what we want. If it is found, break. Now systematically, let's do it. What we will do, we will not print here. We will simply say EMP found is equals to true. Now you will understand in program, many places you will see some kind of flag. We say we are setting the flag or setting the Boolean value basically. So let's assume that EMP is not there. So we'll say Boolean employee found is equals to false. So by default, we are saying, hey, employee is not present. If it is present, then make it true and come out of the for loop. Otherwise, keep on searching for the next value. It's like this. So once the for loop is done, now you can say, hey, whether EMP found is equals to true. If it is true, then say employee found. So we'll say EMP found. Okay. And you can put either if, or it's better for the better clarity for the programming perspective. I'll say if EMP found is equals to false, then say EMP not found. EMP not found. Okay. Now, how it will work, I'll just go through it quickly and you will understand what I'm saying. Hold on. Okay. Line by line, we'll talk about this. So let's assume we are searching for 207. Okay. So what we are doing, we are assuming that employee is not present. So I'm saying EMP found is false by default. So whenever it will match, I'll change the value of EMP found to true and I'll come out of the for loop. It's like this. So when there is a match, I'll say true, make it true and come out. When there is no match, right? I'm not saying anything. Why? Because by default it is already false. So if there is no value which is matching with the search which we are doing, then obviously it will remain false. So let's see the positive case first. So I'll again debug it and you will understand what I'm saying. So here it is saying Q0, Q1, Q2. Now see here, when the Q value was 2, Q value is 2, EMP ID of 2 is 207, we are making EMP found as true. And we are saying break. Break means don't do further search. Our searching is done, correct? So it will come out. And now we are checking, hey, EMP found is true. Then say EMP is found, right? So because EMP found is true, so true is matching with the true. True is not match with false. So it will not go here, right? It will go to EMP found only. See here, it is already printed. Done. Done this program. Let's take the negative case. You will understand what I'm saying. So here, I'll search with 500, which is basically not present here. So what will happen this time? Let's see. I'm again debugging this program. And one by one, it will debug through all the values. See here. So it is not able to find Q value has become 3. So EMP ID of 3 is 222. It is not matching, not matching, not matching. And one time, once Q will become 8, it will come out of the for loop, correct? Here till now Q value is 7. Now Q will become 8 and it will come out of this for loop. And what happened? EMP found is still false because we have not changed it, right? There was no match. So EMP found remains false, which you declared at 10th line. It will say employee not found. Fine. So in this way it works. This is the good program for linear search. There is binary search also. I don't want to go into that part as of now. Now tell me, do you guys have any question related to this? You can unmute and ask if you have further question quickly. It's fine.
So we can use the else as well, na? In the end instead of using the second if.
Yeah, yeah, you can use it. So here we can say
Okay.
else.